So I'm just gonna play this in slow motion. You can kind of focus on the left screen right now, and then we'll kind of go back a little bit. Let me zoom out just a little bit.
So my arm isn't straight either.
Yeah, that's something I was gonna point out. I mean, you have really good twist. I mean, you can see you have really good twist. I think there are some little bits of like timing I would adjust in terms of when you start your twist as you're recovering, but like how you are using your back in the pool is really good. All right, so let's go ahead and go back for both of these a little bit. Okay. Okay, so so I would say like during your recovery, you start kind of twisting up your body a little bit early. I think you're getting the right amount of twist, but like when you apply, if you're going to apply it to water, you want to be able to get like your weight onto the blade as you're catching in. So so here's a difference between like my recovery and yours. So I usually try to stay pretty relaxed even through the 2 gate. So like finishing the stroke here, you can see that I'm just like slightly derotated past square, right? I think both of us are here. So in terms of like the outer shoulder being rotated slightly further back than the inner shoulder. And then as you go into the 2 gate, you kind of get to square position. So for you here, when you get, so I would say like,
I'm too forward.
when you get into your 2 position here, you're already like pretty pretty twisted up. Whereas what I would want to see is still pretty relaxed in the core, even as you get through this neutral position, so that when you go into the toast and catch, what I want you to kind of think about is being able to plant your blade in with your weight kind of falling onto it. So when you twist up early like this, and you're already kind of leaned down, then this point where you're kind of catching in, you're already like at your full extension with your core. And so at that point, you're gonna really mostly be relying on your, it's kind of like your arm strength, but I know like your upper back is helping you press down on it, but just trying to get a little bit more weight. So you can see like as I'm toasting, I'm leaning forward, and as I'm catching, there's a little bit more motion of the body weight helping down. So it depends on, obviously depends on how long of a stroke you're trying to get in terms of how much you're going to lean into the catch, but that will assist your catch and make it a little bit easier to like really dig in and pull hard, because you're going to be using your body a little bit more with that. The other thing in kind of in conjunction with staying relaxed is that lower arm being just a little bit more straight or extended. So I think you're pretty relaxed here. There's a little bit more arm bend than I think I'd like to see here. So this, I mean, naturally there's like a very slight bend in my arm here, but it's mostly straight through, right? Whereas you have a slight bend here. I think you already mentioned that.
Yeah. Yeah, when I think about it, then I stop twisting so much.
Yeah. So this is really good. I mean, like you have really, really good twist. I would say, if anything, there might be like a couple degrees over rotated. And we'll kind of take a look at front view of this, but you want to be careful that your inner shoulder doesn't get like behind your head too much.
Okay.
Because in terms of, here, let's look at the front view. And I don't have a front view on this particular comparison video.
Jerry actually said that to me once, that I rotated too much.
Yeah, so
I'm like,
right
"Is that-"
here. So if we look carefully here, like your inner shoulder gets kind of almost behind your head, right?
Oh.
And in order for you to really use that inside half, so like watch as we go into your catch here, like you're gonna be strongest as soon as this shoulder comes back, like into this pathway. So you want to think, in order to use, I know I'm kind of demonstrating, so you're not gonna see this on the video that I'm talking into, but let me do it this way. So in order to use this inside shoulder, if I'm all the way here, like I can't use it until I get to about here. So I'm trying to get everyone to make sure that they set up with, I mean, you're still twisted here, right? But this elbow should not be above your ear here.
Okay.
So you should set somewhere around here, and your top hand. Okay, I think a good rule of thumb, again, I'm gonna show you here, just like
My top hand is going too high too.
the top hand's not actually that high. I would say it's just a little bit. I mean, I can't. Sorry, I keep moving back and forth here. So right, it's just a couple degrees, and I think that has to do with how you're twisting a little bit far back. But I would say like right when you set up here, this is a little bit too twisted out, and your elbow here ends up going just slightly above your ear here. So I would want you to, basically, your full rotation, I want you to take it back a couple degrees so that your top arm doesn't end up above the ear, okay? And I think that's gonna be fixed easily if you go back to what I was talking about with your two position here. When we're talking about when you recover. So if you delay when you start twisting. So right here, going from exit into the two position, I want mainly your shoulders are gonna go into square position. So when you get to here, okay, so when you get to about here, see how my shoulders here, I could draw a straight line across and connect my shoulders, right? But yours is already starting to stack or twist. So if you delay this, that's gonna also delay like how far you're gonna get in the front when you retwist. I mean, I think like if you kind of look at when, I mean, it's hard to see it unless you've like looked at a lot of these videos, but like if you look at when the rope engages and when your like muscles kind of lock up here, it's really not happening until you get to about here. So this is the strongest part of your actual top arm pressure. So you want to minimize how much looseness there is between when you're set up and then when you catch in. Okay, so
Maybe I'm like hesitating before I push. Is that like I'm?
No, I think the main thing is, I mean, a lot of it has to do with how high you end up setting up. So, another thing you can kind of take a look at here is just in relation to the bar. You can see like I'm almost kind of aiming at the bar and your arm at the setup compared to where that bar is. It's kind of aiming slightly up, right?
It's where?
Sorry. So if I draw a line of like, it has to do with your arm. So like if this is kind of aiming up, whereas this is aiming straight at the bar.
Oh, your hand. Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of, you want to get that arm straight and be aimed a little bit lower. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this video here. I don't know if you have any other questions. I think the biggest thing would be when you start retwisting. And it kind of lends itself to what you're seeing with how your top arm gets positioned in the catch. So I'm gonna hop on the machine now and then